Hello and welcome back to more Vintage Cube Draft. I think this is genuinely the first time this season that I have not opened Power, and that's fine. I've gotten incredibly lucky lately. So, this pack, I think a lot of people are probably going to say first pick channel, and I think it's fun, but I just want to make it clear I don't think channel is actually like a good card to have in your deck, mostly because it does nothing. Like, all of these two card combos where one half does nothing on its own are just really, really, really sketchy in the cube, especially as cards are just getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. You just can't afford to do that. That being said, I think it's fun, so I'm gonna take the fun card here. Um, well, there you go. Okay, we'll see what the win rate is. I just like the thing is, this is fun. It's cool. You can win on turn two, and I think it is very memorable when you either win this way or lose this way. Like you're like, oh man, that either you won on turn two and your brain remembers how cool that was, or you lost in turn two and your brain remembers how terrible of a gameplay experience that was. But what it doesn't remember is the times when you have channel in hand and no Emrakul, or Emrakul in hand and no channel. So you just got to keep that in mind as you're playing and drafting this. We do get a show and tell. I mean, you can build decks around this. You can win with these decks. I'm not saying like you can't have a good deck. I've had 5-0 or 3-0 decks that run this strategy, but on average, they perform worse than my other decks. Usually they'll be 2-1 because sometimes you'll just have a mix of draws that are channel show and tell, and then a mix of draws that are like Emrakul in lands. And it does happen. I like show and tell though. I think, we didn't come here to not do this, so might as well try it. There's a Worldly Tutor. Gristlebrand is interesting, but I think Worldly Tutor actually does kind of help this strategy along. I could take Prismatic Vista and then try and wheel the Worldly Tutor, but I think all-in Emrakul combo does seem kind of fun, so let's try for that. I could tutor up an Emrakul. Wishclaw Talisman can grab one of these, but I think Generous End is probably a bit better. Just because I don't like, you want to be able to channel on turn two. And we don't have anywhere near the mana for that yet. Ulamog is a great one. Let's put Ulamog into play. I mean, this is, as far as starts go, this is sort of the dream start. If I could get like a Mystical Tutor, like, we could have some semblance of consistency here. And then we need a lot of fixing because, again, you really, like, if you're not channeling on turn 2 or 3 in the current cube, like, metagame, you're just gonna die. Just the way that the cube is, it's so powerful, everything does so much. You're just gonna die if you can't do that. I think Fabled Passage early lets me do all of this. Yeah, I'm gonna take that over the Caryatid. This deck is, like, not gonna be a fair deck. Yavimaya helps. Spar's Headquarters. Blue, green, white. I can fetch it with Generous End. Is that better than Yavimaya? Yavimaya basically acts as 2 green sources. I think I'm going to take this, though. This just makes it more likely that we can do Worldly Tutor, Show and Tell, all that jazz. Talisman of Creativity. I don't want to play against Containment Priest. Although I guess Containment Priest doesn't stop channel. That's kind of good. I could also take like Staff of the Storyteller and be a little bit more reasonable, but I don't... This is not the start of a deck that is playing reasonable. This is the start of a deck that's like Oath of Druidsing. I will say, I think Oath of Druids is better than Channel Emrakul because Oath is a 1-card combo and Channel is a 2-card combo. If you have Oath in your deck, you can just Demonic Tutor for just Oath of Druids, and that's enough. If you have Channel, then you need like 2 Demonic Tutors, and it gets significantly less likely to pull off. If you could do both, that's the best case scenario. Then at that point, I think the deck gets kind of good. Once Upon a Time definitely helps with what we're trying to do. So I'll take that. Then this pack's terrible. I'll grab a Scrubland just in case, but probably not play it. Lava Spur Boots is actually kind of funny with Show and Tell. You can like Show and Tell an Emrakul and then attack with haste. I actually like that. City of Traders means we can Show and Tell sooner. Then I guess Tarmogoyf, I don't know. Sleep Magic, it can keep us alive. I support that. Overall, not a terrible start. I mean, we can go turn 1 City of Traders Talisman. If we get like a Lotus Petal, that would be amazing. We're really, really, really wanting a mystical tutor now because with Worldly Tutored Once Upon a Time and double Eldrazi, we can somewhat reliably find these. Wow. Okay. All right. Time Walk Mox Jet in the same pack. Interesting. Time Walk makes show and tell. I mean, it basically does what Lava Spur Boots does, but better. I think Time Walk's actually better here because it makes show and tell better if we get Eureka. Eureka Time Walk, that's actually a combo. Yeah, I'm gonna take this card. The Mox is good. I mean, I would love to have it in the deck, but I think this lets me do some things that are fairly unique, that other cards would never enable us to do. Here, there's a Botanical Sanctum, Lightning Greaves, Primeval Titan, Hex Drinker. I already have the boots, so I don't think I need the Greaves just yet. Phantasmal Image doesn't really work too well with the Eldrazi. Yawgmoth's Will can let me replay Show and Tell, or Time Walk, so that's kind of cool. Pillage the Bog. Put one into your hand and rest on the bottom of the library. If I can get black mana, this could just be the pickup. I think I'm going to try this. I don't know for sure if that's what I want, but I just got Fast Bond, so. Yeah, I think I'd take Fast Bond. Palantir's interesting. I can just, like, dome them with Emrakul. But I think Fast Bond, Pillage the Bog. Like, we're just trying to do degenerate stuff quickly, and this doesn't exactly feel like the kind of deck. Like, I feel like we could run, like, 20 lands in this deck and not be that mad about it. Leovold, if I am pillaging the bog, Leovold could be kind of nice. With Fast Bond, I'm also incentivized to take draw 7s, so I like that. Otherwise, not a ton that we're missing out on. There's Oath of Druids, so yeah, I'm cutting Leovold. This card is exactly what I was hoping for, and very happy about it. Okay. Nisu Shakes the World is just amazing. Definitely worse if you are not playing that many creatures to like protect her. She's pretty good with Fast Bond. Starting Town also does kind of solve the early mana concerns we might have had. But I think this is good enough. Like she could let us hardcast Eldrazi, and that's kind of awesome. Sowing Mycospawn. Pretty bad with Oath. Hard Evidence. Makes a creature. Blocks. Keeps me alive. Otherwise there's Sensei's Top, which is good with Worldly Tutor, Once Upon a Time, Generous Ent, City of Traders and stuff. I'll take a Sensei's Top. I think this is a deck that's like all in. Through the Breach, I don't love, but it does more than anything else here. Copperline Gorge helps with Through the Breach mana, so I'll take that. Oh, yeah, I really wanted the fixing from this pack. It appears that that was taken from me. I could take Primetime. It's an okay Oath of Druids target. It's fine with Channel. There's also Phantasmal Image, which I guess technically with Oath of Druids, you're like always going to have a hit with Phantasmal Image. I'll just take this. I don't think I'm playing it, but it's an option. Pillage the Bog I would love, but our mana's getting a little bit suspicious, so we kind of have to decide, are we going more through the breach or are we going a different direction? But with now the deck is getting pretty good with Oath and Channel and Show and Tell, potentially through the breach. We have many different ways to put the Eldrazi into play, and I like that a lot. Waterlogged Grove is very helpful. I'll take a Discharge, probably not playing it. I'll take a... I think with Oath I don't really want to play 6, but I'm not really playing anything else, so take that. Wasteland, sure. Rabble Man. These packs have been really weird. Okay, Mox Emerald. That can speed us up a lot, so I will take that. We're still getting power. I feel like they upped it so that power is always, like, all of the power is always in the draft. That's just, if I had to guess, it feels like they made that change. Ketria Triumph would also be really nice, but I can't pass up on a Mox. Because this deck thrives on speed, and we're just going to mulligan, you know? And if we can mulligan to Mox Emerald plus Forest, we only need 4 cards to win. Okay, what's next? Triplicate Titan is a pretty good channel target. Summon Bahamut is not the best channel. If you play this early, like, it doesn't do that much. So I think Triplicate Titan's better than that. This Island Mountain Plains, not really where we want to be. Jace is pretty bad. Lorien Revealed can grab Spara's headquarters. So it's a bit of fixing, and it's a draw 3 as well. It's a shuffle for Sensei's top 2. I think with 2 big Eldrazi, I don't need a third. I'm going to take a Lorien Revealed. Time Warp is good. Polluted Delta solves a lot of my mana issues, does it? It grabs just this one, and it enters tapped. I can Detected Probe Show and Tell, the classic combo older than time, is also kind of decent. But I think we'll take the fetch first and then go from there. Counterspell's pretty good. If we're going a bit slower to Fairy, I have like so many different ways to grab Spar's headquarters. So getting it to Fairy down is also a great way to like stop them from countering our channel. Fabled Passage, Copperland Grove. I could also take Counterspell and then try and wield Teferi. Because that does require white. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, double blue is pretty tough, but I think that's okay. Okay, next pack. There's a Lotus Petal that goes a long way. Hedge Maze also is really good. It makes some of our fetches just fix our mana better. But again, we're trying to be as fast as possible. This is 0 mana, add mana of any color. Works with Show and Tell, works with anything. So I think I actually take this over the Hedge Maze because, again, this is not a deck that's going to win the late game. This is a deck that we're trying to kill them on turn 1, basically. Eternal Witness with Time Walk is okay. I can take Bayou. Bayou goes with Polluted Delta to allow us to pillage the bog, which is actually pretty good. So I will take that. Misty Rainforest is huge. Malevolent Rumble's also really good, but it just grabs creatures. I think I take Misty. This gives us actually a pretty decent set of mana. I don't know about Wasteland, mostly because we're trying to kill them on turn, 1, right? So I don't think Wasteland matters. Corpse Dance. I don't currently have a way to discard stuff. Talon Gates is interesting, potentially. Yeah, I have no way to put a creature into my bin, but I don't know if I'm doing anything with any of these. I'm gonna take Talon Gates. I don't think I'm Corpse Dancing here. Woodfall Primus is interesting. Not that good with Channel. Soul Guide Lantern can just keep us alive for like a second. Sure. Okay. Life Death gives us reanimation, but we don't have any of that. These are all creatures. Sure. Okay, Savai Triumph gives us red, white, black. There's also just Manamorphose. I think I just take Manamorphose, to be honest. Then we get nothing. Take this. This is a creature, right? I could Oath into this. Okay, sure. I don't know. Eternal Witness I don't hate. Being able to Oath into Eternal Witness plus Time Walk is something maybe we'd sideboard into. So I cut Prime Time. These are all lands. 20 playables with Fast Bond's actually not that bad. I think I'm just going to play a lot of lands that makes mulliganing better. I could cut Generous Ent. I think my mana is good enough. Just... I didn't see any of the draw 7s that I wanted. But at this point, it's literally just Ulamog and Emrakul that we can hit off Oath. Through the Breach of those two is not amazing, but we're running so many lands now that I think that's okay. There is a temptation to put Prime Time in the deck. It's still not a bad Oath hit, but it does make Oath sketchier. Once Upon a Time effectively costs 0. Do I cut Nissa? Do I just see what happens if I run like a 24 land deck? I don't know. I feel like with Fast Bond, I can like turn 1 a Nissa, and that's a pretty easy way to win a game. Okay, I feel like with this many lands, I am gonna run Wasteland. It just gives me something to do. Put these in. I'm gonna run a basic mountain in this current setup. Do I want a Galvanic Discharge? Probably to have a removal spell could be worth it. So 1 basic mountain, 1 basic swamp, 2, and then green sources right now are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'd be 14 green sources, which is not that bad. I get to add another, which will be all the important stuff is green, but I'll add an island here because blue sources right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right, 19 lands. I could go up. I mean, this is sort of 20, 21. Right now we're sort of at 21 lands. I like Talisman because it fixes our mana. I could cut City of Traders. City of Traders enables a turn 1 show and tell though. I think this is fine. We're gonna see what happens. See you all round 1. Alright, we're playing against Ogonomy. Something like that. We're on the play, which is huge. This hand has Worldly Tutor, Once Upon a Time, Manamorphose, but no channel, no show and tell, no fast bond. This can't grab any of those, so I'm gonna mulligan. This has literally when I was describing the problems with a deck like this is what I'm talking about, right? If last hand had all one thing, this hand has all another thing. I could keep it and hope to draw one of those things. And I think I'm going to, but we could just not draw them. Could draw Oath of Druids as well. I mean, Channel in hand, what are my actual odds of hitting a creature? I have Worldly Tutor, Emrakul, Ulamog, mostly land. I think I'm mulliganing. Okay. This one has Show and Tell, City of Traders, Sensei's Top, Metamorphose. I'm at 5. I think I'm gonna keep these and ditch Mountain and Lorien Revealed. Although Lorien Revealed does give a shuffle off of top. But yeah, I think I ditched these. Because Metamorphose does let me win very early. So now I get to go Waterlogged Grove, Sensei's Top. Pass turn. It's possible I'm supposed to go to 4. I mean, this deck can handle it pretty easily. They strip mine me. Joke's on them, I have so many lands in my deck. Okay, are we back? Oh my gosh, sorry, that was weird. My computer like bugged and crashed, and I don't really know what happened, but we're at beginning of combat, so I need to play land. I drew a forest. Okay, let's go play the forest and pass. Sorry, that was very disorienting. It was like one of the weirder bugs that seems like it was Magic Online doing stuff, but then it lagged so hard my computer crashed. I don't want any of these, and this is kind of the problem, right? End step, so we're going to draw this, play City of Traders, Talisman, and then pass. Maybe I'm supposed to just take a regular land there. They look at the top card of my library, it's just a land. Alright, end of turn, see what's on top. Time Walk is okay, I guess. We can take that one. Alright, let's go. Time Walk. Sensei's Top. Yeah, I can cycle that, I guess. Cycle this. We have a land. Let's look what we got. Channel Bayou. Okay, I mean, Channel is better than anything else. And do I play land for City of Traders? I guess not. Okay, the Oliphant. Come on, deck. Draw Channel. Look at the top. Pillage the Bog. Okay. That one's pretty good. I could do that this turn and just try and win. I guess it only looks at 2. It looks at 4. Yeah, because you play land and City of Traders die. So I guess I do play land this turn. We'll put Bayou on top. Put this. We're going to draw Bayou. I'll play an island this turn. Pass turn. Okay, this thing keeps showing up, and I keep saying I don't want this. And it's like, hey, you want this one specific game that's like bundled in with Windows from like 6 years ago? I'm like, I don't care about this game. Monastery Mentor, you got it. Does make Emrakul a little bit worse, but not the end of the world. Okay, so next turn we're going Bayou. Then I think I'm just gonna Manamorphose into Pillage the Bog here. Because I'm gonna take damage and then Channel doesn't do anything. So we Manamorphose into green black. Then I pillage the bog. Nothing. Put one of them in your hand, rest on the bottom in a random order. I mean, I could grab Nissa. Do that. I think I am just going to flip top, because if I hit a creature here, that's like the best way to win. No, it's just a forest. Alright, we dug as far as we could. I think I'm dead here. But this is literally the problem. I have so many tutor effects, so many other things, and yeah, I'm just dead with Narset. And I just didn't hit what I needed. It was literally on top, but with Narset in play, I couldn't have flipped top to hit Emrakul. So I needed to hit Emrakul literally the turn before. That's frustrating. But that's just like, that is the problem with this type of deck. And I know you can do it different ways. You don't have to be all in on Emrakul, but like, basically the more you get away from being all in on this type of thing, just the less you're basically just using the other cards to win, and then you might as well just not do this, if that makes any sense. They don't know what my deck is, so that's good, I guess. Let's go first. Again. Channel, show and tell, no creatures. That's a mulligan. Oath of Druids, Emrakul in your opener. Oath does seem good against their deck in general. I'm going to keep this and put Emrakul back. Let's go Fast Bond. Island. Pass. I can Lorien Revealed for a basic island for counterspell. Oh, wait. I was supposed to get the tapped land, actually. That would give me double green. Yeah, that was a mistake. I'll do this. Yeah, double green. I guess it's just channel, and I just put Emrakul on the bottom, so I'll just grab this island. Play an island. We have Once Upon a Time, Counterspell, Oath of Druids up. They just play creature. That's perfect. And I want to hit a land off Once Upon a Time, so I can go Oath of Druids plus Counterspell. Up to 1. That one's tapped. Alright, that one. I don't actually want to do this. Play. Then we do this. And we have Counterspell up. Counterspell here being notably quite a bit better than Teferi. That's not good. Oh, they hit the Bayou! Okay. They're not scared of Counterspell, apparently. Hitting Bayou is wild when I have untapped mana, but maybe they just don't credit me for having a Counterspell in hand. Maybe. It is fun to run again into the Strip Mine deck when I'm playing this, because I'm running like 25 mana sources or something. Yes. Ulamog. Forest. Let's go Forest. Talisman. Now they know my deck is very unfair. It has a lot of lands too, but they might think I'm just getting unlucky. Okay, they don't do anything end of turn. That's good news. They discard Echo of Aeons. So they're like Storm or something, it seems. Echo of Aeons with flashback. We just counter that. Sick. Okay. That one worked. Because, again, this is what I've been saying. Like, Oath of Druids is good because you just need that. You don't need any other combos. You just need that. Assembling creature plus channel is so hard. As you saw in many of the last rounds. Yeah, we'll just run it back. Still difficult. This is certainly a mulligan. Although, it has Wasteland. No, it's a mulligan. Okay, there you go. Keep this. We're going to ditch Worldly Tutor. Mox Emerald would be the best possible draw here. Okay, we're going to play Polluted Delta, and we're going to fetch the Tri-Land, because that plays around Strip Mine. The only thing that gets us is a counterspell, but they seem more combo than a deck that would play counter magic. But yeah, this deck, I mean, we're basically just playing, can you counter our spell? If you can, I guess it's good, and if you can't, you die. Okay, Spar's Headquarters, counterspell. So now we have a different game that I could play, which I don't mind. Just getting them to tap out. If I hadn't drawn counterspell there, I would definitely have just gone for it. But now I could set up, they're not damaging me, and if they want to impact the board, they have to tap low on mana. That is annoying, because now I can't channel next turn. So there's that, I guess. Maybe I should have just gone for it. Okay, we go basic forest. Yeah, now I don't have counter spell. That was actually, I didn't even think about. That was devastating. Because now they just have more turns to hit their mana. Draw cards off Tamio. Yeah, I played too scared, maybe. They attack. So if I'm going to draw a land, a blue source untapped would be the best. If I'm not going to draw a land, maybe I do still just go for it and hope that they're just a combo deck. Or do they just do that? Okay. That's 6 permanents, so we're going to see what happens here. Spell Pierce would be annoying, but otherwise we got it. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 Emrakul. Take an extra turn. You have no permanents. Hey, look at that interactive magic. See you next round. Hey, and if you weren't aware, I've actually been working on a roguelike deck building card game that's going to be launched on Steam, and we're making it for mobile and other platforms as well. So if you're interested in that at all, go check it out on Steam. Link in the description. It's called Azoth, and it's really quite a bit of fun. You get to pick your hero, a lot of different starting decks, and the premise of the game is essentially you're building up your deck, growing your deck to be able to fight bosses. So at the end of the turn, you're going to fight a boss encounter, and the resource system of the game is you can either play cards in sequences of like 1, 2, 3, groups of the same number, so like 2, 2, 2, and then sets of the same element, so like all of these soul cards. And cards can only be played in links that are at least as long as their valence number. So Reform has a 3, so you have to have at least 3 total cards in the link to be able to play this card. So it's really cool in that it allows you to limit cards and their effects based on having more expensive costs, but you don't have like a mana system. You don't have to keep track of resources. Eventually this is going to be released in paper, and it's just really streamlined. You're not tracking anything as you're playing, and it's really satisfying to hit the links. Eventually you'll face curses, which are things that require you to play specific links in order to get them out of your deck. So yeah, if you're interested at all in a game like that, and we're planning a lot of other things from the expansion, like a combo meter, leveling up your character. Check it out on Steam, link in the description. Alright, round 2, playing against Pale Door. We're on the play. That bodes well. I mean, this is a turn 2 Nissa who shakes the world. I'm gonna keep this. This isn't channel, but this is something else entirely powerful. Mox Emerald. Fast Bond. Bayou. Wasteland. I think, do I want to wait a turn here? Because next turn I can just go City of Traders Nissa. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to hold off on Wasteland too, because Fast Bond means it doesn't really cost me anything. Of course they have a Mox. Okay. So this becomes a 3-3. But I get to go... I guess I don't even have to City of Traders. I could just go Mountain Island Nissa. Take 1 damage here, but that's okay. Green, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Nissa. Nissa will untap the mountain. Attack for 3. So Gao attacks is a 3-3. I will probably just trade. I have so many lands. Foretold red card. So that's the one that does 5 damage to each of my creatures. And it costs 6 to play, I think. That's an Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty far away from doing Emrakul stuff. 5 damage to each of my creatures. But they do take 6 in the process. I think I have to still use Nissa here, and it seems like Wasteland is pretty useless against them, so I'm going to do that. They can spend their whole turn killing all my stuff and their mana vault. Which is pretty, I mean, they've a lot of fast mana. We're just going to hold the rest of the stuff in hand. So we're drawing live to channel, show and tell, pillage the bog. Well, pillage the bog is going to be worse because they're going to kill all my creatures, but... Yep, 5 damage to each creature. Nothing to Wasteland, so they just die. Nissa takes 3. My opponent's at 11 life. We draw a forest. We play a forest. Nissa will turn Island into a creature. That's probably the least important, although it does make Time Walk better. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Yeah, I'll do a forest here. Attack for 3. We can no longer trade with Gao. But I think if they attack, they're just gonna die to Nissa, so there's that. And for those wondering, this is why I value Nissa so highly. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, so they can chump with that if they want to. Sunbaked Canyon, can't quite wasteland it. Robber the Rich doesn't do a lot. They fall to 6 doing that. And they attack Nissa. That's very suspicious. Do they have like gut shot? Nissa takes 4 here. I guess they can double block a forest with this setup. Copperline Gorge. That enters tapped. We'll play it. Untap it. Right, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're still 4 away from Emrakul. Attack for 6, they have to block. They double block, and whenever this creature attacks, if any player has more cards in hand than you, exile the top card of their library, they can play. I mean, it's very likely this can make them treasure tokens, but they have quite a bit of mana, although they have to untap this soon. I think I'm gonna do it like this. And I will play this out just to make fewer cards in hand. I didn't realize that would do a damage to me. I kind of regret that now. So if they don't untap, they take damage. They go to 2. Nissa is dying here. They discard a Firebolt. So if I block Robber with Copperline Gorge, I lose my creature. This, I just want to point out, Nissa is insane. This is literally just Nissa Who Shakes the World against Delayed Blast Fireball, Gao, Robber the Rich, Mox Ruby, Mana Vault, Fable the Mirror Breaker. Like, and Nissa's winning. I mean, I'm probably going to lose here if they have literally anything, but if they whiff on all of that, I just let Nissa take the damage and they die. Firebolt Nissa. That also works. They can attack with Gao for 5. Or just no attacks. Oh, that's clever. Take 4 damage. Channel's no longer live, I don't think. Swamp. Oh, lose City of Traders. They're at 1, so they have to Mana Vault. Alright. So they can't really play anything this turn. Because Sunbaked Canyon doesn't do it. They can attack me for 4. But then they're like super dead to removal. I guess 5. Alright, what's my best shot at winning here? Can I still draw Channel and win if this dies? I go Channel, I'll have... I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Channel doesn't work, so we're going to take 5 down to 3. Because Galvanic Blast plus Time Walk does, or something like that. Misty Rainforest. We are dead. Yeah, we're dead. That was actually close. For a turn 1 Nissa, like, not bad. Okay, this is going to be great for Oath of Druids. I feel like this is in general a decent matchup. They don't look like a deck that has counter magic. And I just look like I drew really poorly. Which, to be honest, I did. But they don't know that. It took them Mox, Mana Vault, Delayed Blast Fireball to even have a shot at beating Nissa. This hand does nothing. This hand does nothing. This hand does nothing, but it has some stuff going on. If I keep it... I think I'm keeping this one. Keep this one, ditch, Lotus Petal, and I get to Once Upon a Time for free. So I guess we will ditch Lorien Revealed. Let's play this without paying the mana cost. Pretty rough. Waterlogged Grove lets me play Counterspell soon, so I'm going to take this, play an island, because I can't channel next turn anyway. They do nothing. Okay. Nissa was on the bottom too. Oath of Druids. Okay. I want to set up for like Oath of Druids plus Time Walk, I think is the sequence I want to have. Magda I think is probably fine though. Magda's pretty innocuous. We'll just play Oath. And Lotus Petal would have been really nice, but it is what it is. Let's go Bayou. Oath of Druids. Pass turn. They're mono red, so pretty tough to deal with Oath. They can only use this once, right? Yeah. Okay, nice. They can't boast itself. Now we get to do my favorite thing, which is Oath Trigger plus Time Walk. Emrakul. Was that on top? I think that literally was. Okay. Alright. Now they know Oath is in there. They might play a little bit differently. I guess I might want to Sleep Magic. Sleep Magic plus Oath of Druids is kind of spicy. We'll bring that in. Honestly, Counterspell does give us like some kind of hope somewhere. Maybe I bring that in. Wasteland. They just have so few things that I would want to Wasteland. So we're just going to run it like this. Okay, this hand does nothing. We mulligan. How do I have a hand with no lands? I'm running, like, well, there's one, but I'm on the draw. I mean, I'm extraordinarily likely to hit a land here. And then I could Worldly Tutor to show and tell. I'm going to take this. I'm so likely to hit a land. And we're going to get rid of Rue the Breach. Chrome Mox. You got it. Yeah, we're like well over 50% to hit a land right here. Robber of the Rich attacks in. They get to draw a card. If they hit Emrakul, I'm going to be so sad. Channel, I didn't want. So actually very happy about that. Also not drawing a land is insane. Land? Okay. If I go City of Traders, then any land I draw lets me show and tell, but I would be one short of anything else. Ugh. Yikes. How am I getting mana screwed in this deck? Honestly, though. Like, so the reason you build this deck to have this many lands is you can keep hands like this, and you're... I don't know, there's 22 mana sources in my deck, so we're 22 out of 32 chance of hitting a land. So, I can go City of Traders and play the Boots. That gives me more mana for the following turn if I just draw Emrakul off the top. Probably my best shot at winning at this point is show and telling an Emrakul into play. And then, like, having Boots available. Talon Gates of Madara would have actually been one of the worst lands I could hit. They have my channel? What? I forgot that's even possible. Summon Kujata. Post-combat, I guess they had to do that. So I'm like dead next turn. So we really need to hit show and tell here. Come on, deck. Any land? I need Emrakul too. Lorwyn Field. Oh my gosh. I'm taking 9. Galvanic Discharge can kill one of the two, but I can't get an untapped red source here. If I Lorien Revealed and play it right now... I mean, I'm definitely using this. It's a question of what I'm getting and what's happening with it. Okay, well that is my only possible way of hitting green, is Spar's Headquarters. Literally how am I mana screwed right now? I take 9, so I'm dead in 2 turns. I have to win next turn. How do I win next turn? I win next turn by... I don't know if I can win next turn. I can't even get untapped green here to Manamorphose into Discharge Fast Bond. So if I hit Emrakul off show and tell, this thing dies, but then they just hit me for a ton of damage. Actually, wait. I take 9. Maybe I don't just die. Maybe I can play the long game. I take Sparrows, and then I need so many lands. Let's grab an island and just not play it. And if I draw a Lotus Petal and then I Manamorphose into Emrakul, I could win. Yeah, I think the way this works is they only get one more attack. I think. Now, if they just Broadside Bombardiers me, I'm like super dead. Headliner Scarlet, 10, 11, 12. I think I am now dead next turn again. So it has to literally be Lotus Petal into Manamorphose, into Emrakul, equip, Boots. And I think I might actually still die in that case. Alright. That's that. We can only do so much. See you next round. Okay. Izalith, let's go. Show me what you got. Show and tell, channel in the same hand, but I do have Once Upon a Time. I am going to keep this hand. This is my first... They have Lutri Companion. This is my first keep my entire hand build. That's pretty fun. Bayou. I think we're going to Fabled Passage fetch, and then Once Upon a Time, just to make it as likely as possible that I can grab Emrakul off of this. Delphi Voidwalker. So I don't want to give you any of these. So we're going to do this for Forest. Play Once Upon a Time without paying the mana cost. Grab a City of Traders, I guess. So I have Channel in hand. Lotus Petal. Yeah, this is the risk again. Bayou. Yeah, we'll go with a Bayou. If I draw a blue source, I could go City of Traders and then Island into Lorien Revealed to try and draw some stuff, but that does give them Lorien Revealed with Delphi Voidwalker. I like the lands they have. Pretty neat. They pass. We're gonna hold Lorien Revealed. We draw Swamp. So no blue. Let's just play a Forest. And pass? I'm gonna play Lotus Petal. I don't know exactly what their deck is, but it feels like having that in play could be helpful somehow. Okay, Duress I actually don't care that much about. They take Lorien Revealed, that's interesting, but it kind of makes sense because these two basically do the same thing. So there could be a world where I'm supposed to cycle Lorien Revealed, but I know Time Walk is on the bottom of my deck. It also does let them draw 3 off Delphi if they want to. Kind of what we expected. Let's go Mountain. Pass. Channel's looking quite a bit worse. Okay, Mind Twist me. We're probably dead, but I'm just like waiting to draw Emrakul so that I can get complete equity. I guess Oath of Druids is still a very live draw that would easily win the game. I still think Oath of Druids is like the only. Wait a second. Complaint equity. Emrakul. Been waiting for this for so many turns. The one time they get it, that's when I draw it. Yikes. That makes Oath of Druids no longer live, so I'm just gonna concede. That's yeah. That is how these decks go. I just kind of want you to like. I made this video with this deck to just visually give you an understanding of how inconsistent decks based around 2-card combos can be, right? Like Channel plus Emrakul, in theory, cool. This entire league, they've done essentially nothing, and they've just been dead draws. And we have Channel plus Worldly Tutor plus Show and Tell plus Through the Breach 2 Eldrazi plus Pillage of the Bog. Once Upon a Time, like we got stuff going on. I know we're running quite a few lands. Like I'd like more Preordains and stuff, but you can only ask for so much. Mulligan. Channel, Counterspell. I feel like this is a keep. It's got a Counterspell. It's got a bunch of cards. I can ditch an island. And we can Misty Rainforest for the blue-green. If we hit Emrakul off the top, that's great. If we have Counterspells, that's great. If they just double Mox Duress me, Deep Cavern. Great. Alright, they take Channel. I felt safe with this hand because I had Counterspell to protect myself until I drew Emrakul, but, you know, turn 1 Mox Bat obviously voids that expectation. They take Channel, though. Or they take Counterspell. It's very interesting. They could just die next turn if I get lucky. The Boots. Okay, let's go Wasteland, Talisman plus Boots. Channel's looking a little sketch. Maybe they have Duress and they just were hoping to get lucky, but I feel like you take Channel first. Oh, just Mind Twist? Oh my gosh. They risked it. They risked it. Oath of Druid's still a very live draw. Bayou, alright. I can Wasteland them. We're just Oath of Druid. That's all we care about now. They can't counterspell it because it's, or they can't discard it because it's mono black, or it's like not in my hand. Emperor of Bones is kind of cool, but they don't have any creatures to hit yet. This thing adapts for 2. This card's really good. Island, yeah. this is the life. A couple draw 7s would have obviously gone pretty hard in this deck too. Like, I'm not saying this deck is the like ideal Channel, Show and Tell whatever deck. I'm just saying I've drafted this archetype of deck, Channel Emrakul, so many times, and it runs essentially like this every time. Whereas like, I had Channel, then they discard it, and then you draw Emrakul, or vice versa. Or the thing that baffles me is I lost last round because I got mana screwed. That is, to me, the most surprising thing that happened of all of this. It takes Spell Seeker, probably grabbing Counter Magic. So this is my last turn to draw Oath. Time Walk. Okay, this is definitely my last turn to draw Oath. All right, we're dead. All right, well, pretty unfortunate showing, but that is kind of what you expect with a deck like this. So overall, what would I change? More card draw would do this deck a lot. Didn't really hit it. I think Oath of Druids again was just so much better than the Channel Show and Tell Lure and Revealed package. Now, granted, it does require you to build your deck in a certain way. I could have had Eternal Witness, 6 Tarmogoyf, like a couple things, but I think the value that just having this as a live draw to basically say 2 mana win the game, if you can get it, is huge. So I don't know. What my takeaway from this is like Oath of Druids is way better than Channel. that's my takeaway. You could disagree, and that's totally fine. But that's where I'm at. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.